create opportunity.
Okay. So, thank you so much for the interview. We'll start recording
Okay,
now.
let me give a little more water.
Yes, just take your time. And please tell me your name and that you're a founder of the company.
Hi, my name is Ryan Seashore. I founded a nonprofit called Code Now.
And what are you doing with CodeNow?
So Code Now is a nonprofit in the US that teaches programming to underrepresented youth. And so we work with students that have never written code before and introduce them to programming in a fun, interactive, project-based way.
Why do you think programming is, coding, it's important for the new generations?
Sure, I mean, coding is a great equalizer. It doesn't matter where you come from, your background, even your education. If you can code, it will create opportunities and jobs. It will also give you the power to have a great idea and build it.
Do you think there is a better age to learn to code?
I think from what we targeted, it was high school students because we felt like they needed a certain level of math. If you're introducing students in middle school, I would say like a block-based language like Scratch. But I found high school worked for us, and it's just finding something that motivates the students.
Do you think the students are eager to learn how to code by this perspective you were telling me before about how to solve something, or how's the approach with them at that age?
Yeah, great question. So I think students are less excited to learn coding if it's just in a normal format of this is a class you have to take. This is something you have to do. It's like math, it's like English. It's just something that they're forced to learn. But if it's communicated on why they should learn it and towards their motivations, then they get excited. And so I really believe project-based learning is key. Find a problem you want to solve, find something that you're excited about, and learn towards that because it gives you a finish line. It's not like, I'm going to learn to code because coding is so huge. I'm going to learn this, and that way you can actually measure how far you're going and understand what it takes to get there.
What are those early projects of them? Is there a common application or something that is like repeating in those courses?
Yeah, I mean, I think it really depends on the language you're learning and what you're trying to solve. I mean, so we taught Ruby, and we also taught Swift, which is Apple's programming language. And they were two very different, but they were to solve problems, and everything was project-based learning. It would be like, here's how to build a fun name game, or here's how to build a guessing game, just like things that they can actually play with and interact with. And so that's really what it is take it away from just being a perspective of this is what it looks like on paper or on the screen, but these are real applications, and making it tangible is key.
Wow. And you were saying about video games. Do you think it's a recurrent, something that kids want to learn?
Yeah, I mean, I think gaming is a great entry point. Like, kids love it. I mean, that's why Minecraft has been so great, because students get to create mods, and that's an early introduction. I mean, like, think of back in the day with like MySpace. The way people actually learned to code was playing with their profiles and like tweaking the HTML. Yes. Minecraft is the same way. And so like when kids are finally introduced to coding and they've been modding stuff on Minecraft, it's not as foreign to them. It's something they're used to.
Oh, and it's a very profitable way to start, because
Sure.
Video gaming is a huge industry.
Yeah, and what I've actually found really interesting, in the last 6 months, there's actually in the US a Learn to Code movement 2.0. So I was part of it early on in 2011. When I started Code Now, there were no other Learn to Code organizations. Shortly after, several others popped up, and there was a lot of momentum, and then it's kind of leveled off. Now I've seen approaches to using mobile, to new approaches for students to pay for their program, and more one-on-one online stuff. And so it's really interesting that now there's a new resurgence on learning to code, and it's trying to adapt and iterate with the time.
Do you have any goal that probably like Platzi, they want to be the first platform to teach 1 million people to code? Do you have any goal in the US with your project?
Not currently. Our goal is just to create opportunity. I'm no longer involved full-time with Code Now. I've left that and brought in a new CEO. Currently, I'm looking at other ways to engage students through education. That's where immersive technology comes in. So like AR, and VR are really interesting ways because it's a new way to reach an audience, and it's more of a connected, immersive way.
Well, okay. And there is this huge gap of, at least in Latin America, I don't know in US, of works that are going to be available for cybersecurity and all that is related to technology.
Yeah.
How much do you think we need to work on that way to fulfill those job opportunities that are going to be available?
I think it's so important. I mean, that's where coding is this equalizer, and it creates opportunity to have a better life for yourself. And there's this huge demand for these jobs. And it's not really as hard to get into as people think. You just need to learn a basic skill. And that's where I think Platzi is really important, because it's this doorway into this entire world that can change. And that's really where it is like, it's like playing a sport or an instrument. That's what coding is. It's finding something that really connects you and gets you excited. And so that's where they're providing that entry point to a large number of students that may not get it because they're servicing areas that would normally not be there.
Do you think people are aware of that need, of how we are seeing now? Or it's something like when you are a kid, your parent says, say, you have to learn English or piano or whatever because it's the trend, or they are worried about it. But do you think they see it that way?
I don't have as much expertise in Latin America. I'm seeing in the US that's becoming more and more, but I think also give credit to the students. They're realizing how important it is for them and what they want, because also they live in a digital world. All of their interactions, relationships, connectivity is all involved in this. And so it's really finding things that they're passionate about, and I think they are. And so they're also digital natives. Like when we grew up, like we can remember some time without an internet. Like they've never had life without internet. And so they're natives, and so they understand the importance of it, and it's a lot more natural for them to move around with it.
So telling them that is the way to change the world, do you think that's the right approach for the new generations?
Yeah, I wouldn't even say change the world, but create the life that they want. Because, I mean, with technology, you create high-paying jobs, you can build stuff, you can interact. And so it's really finding what their motivation is. Because not everybody is socially conscious to change the world. Some people just want to have a really good job and raise a family. Coding can really do that. And so it's just really changing the message to the audience and what they need, but making sure they understand all the opportunities available to them.
Do you think that talent is needed in order to learn to code?
I think it's motivation.
Okay.
I think it's drive. I don't think you need to be the best at math. I mean, that helps. I don't think you need to be the smartest in your class. I think you need to just be committed to problem solving and understanding and putting in the time. And so I don't think it's based on intelligence. I think it's based on motivation.
Is there anything that you want to say to the Latin American community, to the people who's watching you, about your project or the need to learn to code?
Sure. I think just don't be scared of learning to code. I mean, it seems like this weird, strange world, but just see it as an opportunity, as a way to explore and build and create and have a chance to play in a new medium. And so one suggestion is, if you want to get into coding, and we talked about this a little bit, find a problem you want to solve. Find something that you want to build that is really exciting to you. It's like, if you're going to learn to swim, you don't want to say, I'm just going to go in the ocean. You're like, I'm going to swim 1 lap, I'm going to swim 2 laps. Same thing with coding. I'm going to build an app to do this. I'm going to learn to build a website for this. And that way, you actually have a benchmark to judge yourself against. And when you finish, you have this sense of completion and pride. And then you can build on from there.
Thank you so much, Ryan, for the interview.
Thank you.
Todo bien?